Hey there everyone, so DeepSeek has released their DeepSeek version 3.1 and there is actually two new models that have been released. One is thinking and another one is non-thinking. You can look at the benchmarks comparing DeepSeek version 3.1 thinking model and DeepSeek R10528. If you compare the benchmarks, you can see it is a significant improvement from DeepSeek R1 but still not the absolute best when it comes to coding and stuff. That still remains with Claude Opus 4.1. So I asked you guys which model should I test and almost half of you guys have said that I should test DeepSeek version 3.1 versus GPT-5 thinking. So that is what we are going to do today. Towards my left I have GPT-5 and towards my right I have DeepSeek. You can see now it doesn't say DeepSeek R1 but it says DeepThink because it is using the DeepSeek version 3.1 thinking model. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting off with the first question. Can you draw a dragon in a web page using HTML, CSS and JS? Show side view of the dragon and give your best implementation in one single code. So let's send this to both models and let's see what they come up with. Okay everyone, we have got the response. So let me show you the response from GPT-5 and this is what it has come up with. It looks like a fat dragon but we are clearly able to distinguish all the features. You can see the body, the legs, head, the eyes, horns, nose, all of that is actually very clear. So if you click the dragon, it says it will breathe fire, but it is breathing fire in the opposite direction. Anyways, let's move on to DeepSeek. So we can directly run the code here, but it will not cover the whole screen. So I'll start it up in an HTML viewer. And this is what DeepSeek has come up with. You can see, again, we are able to distinguish this as a dragon. It has the eyes flapping, the legs, the wings. If you click flap wings, you can see it start flapping. But I think we can do even better with these models. So I'll give them feedback and I'll come up with updated responses. Okay everyone, we have got the responses, so let's look at GPT-5 and this is what it has come up with. You can see the head is kind of facing backwards and that is not exactly wrong. It is its representation. I do like the wings. It is detailed and stuff, and also the breathing fire looks very nice. Let's look at DeepSeek. So this is what DeepSeek has come up with. You can see the eyes look great. We have the wings and the legs as well. Both are nice, but I would say that GPT-5 is better because it feels a bit more connected and coherent. Do tell me which one do you like. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, build absolutely best implementation of Super Mario game in a web page without using any external assets and in one single code. So let's send this. Okay, we have got the responses. It is a pretty long code from GPT-5. So I've opened it up in a HTML viewer. Let's have a look. So it said Super Pixel Plumber. Everything looks absolutely awesome, I have to say. Let's hit start game and it says it's paused for some weird reason. Okay, now it's working. I like the sounds. Wait, let me increase the volume so that even you can hear it. Really, the OpenAI models have come a long way when it comes to front-end design. Let's see if we are able to kill the enemy. So we are not able to kill the enemies, I guess. And also the game kind of feels a bit janky. Let's go till the end and see what happens. Okay guys, I think we have the flag over here and we can win. So let's see what happens. Okay, I like the sound. It says course clear. It does have some things here and there, but all in all it works. Let's look at DeepSeek's response. Okay, so this is what DeepSeek has come up with. Super Mario start game, and this is what we see. A very basic implementation actually. I mean, it is nowhere close to what GPT-5 came up with. So I think we can clearly say that GPT-5 was better. So next we are asking, create the best 3D flight simulator game in HTML, CSS and JS and in one single code. Let's see what they come up with. So GPT-5 is done and DeepSeek R1 is still generating. Meanwhile, we can test GPT-5. So let me copy the code and let me show you. Okay, so I have opened it up. Let me show you. This is what it is. 3D flight simulator. Start flight. So, well, I don't see anything. Okay. Now I can see something, but I'm not able to see the flight. It appears like a dot. So we have got DeepSeek response as well. So let's have a look at it. So this is 3D flight simulator. Let's start the flight. Okay. Unlike GPT-5, we are at least able to see something, but I don't know in which perspective it is showing us. It feels like 3D, but we are not able to clearly move. Okay, now we are able to move, but I don't think the flight is oriented correctly. I mean, I'm trying to move here and there, but I'm not able to do that. So let me give the feedback to these two models and we'll come back. Okay guys, we have got the updated code. So you can see this is the response, 3D flight simulator. If I click start flight, you can see this is what I see. The movement is good guys, but I'm not able to see the flight. And we asked it to fix it, but that didn't fix. So there is nothing much to say. We'll keep this aside. and move on to DeepSeek. So this is what DeepSeek has generated. Let's hit start flight and this is what we see. Again, you can see it has not fixed the orientation. I do think that, this implementation is actually the blades. So we can safely say that both have not given a very good response, but comparatively, if I have to pick one, I will say that DeepSeek was slightly better. So the next question is create the best implementation of the game Angry Birds in HTML, CSS and JS and in one single code. So let's send this and let's see what they come up with. Okay everyone, we have got the responses. Let's start off with GPT-5. So this is what GPT-5 has come up with. I don't see anything actually. Let me load it again. So there is some things happening, but other than that, I'm not able to see the birds and stuff. I think they are out of view. Let's actually look at DeepSeek. So this is what DeepSeek has come up with, Angry Birds, and you can see we are able to pull the slingshot and we also see the white trail. Let's see what happens when we release. So okay, it goes there and that is nice, but it seems that I'm not able to pick the other birds. It only works once. But anyways, comparatively we have to say that it is better than what GPT-5 came up with. So we'll give this win to DeepSeek. So let's ask this question. You have to create a simulation of a rocket launch from a launch station and eventually landing onto the moon. So let's send this and let's see what they come up with. Okay, we have the response from GPT-5. Let's actually have a look at it. So this is what it has generated. You can see the whole UI is nice, but we don't see any kind of rocket. But still, let's click start countdown and we'll see if anything happens. So nothing is happening. So we'll keep this aside and we'll try DeepSeek. Okay, so this is what we have, rocket launch and moon landing, and I think this is the rocket. Let's hit launch rocket and you can see the rocket is launching. It is saying space reached, earth orbit achieved. So it's not going towards the moon and it's just rotating over here, but I have to say comparatively it is way better than what GPT-5 gave us. So I'll have to give a win to DeepSeek. So now let's ask some Python based problems. So in this particular question, you can see they have to write a Python code for a hollow circle with an opening. There are two balls inside it and whenever a ball exits, two new balls appear. Okay everyone, we have a response from GPT-5. So we'll copy the code, paste it, and immediately we don't see any kind of errors. Let's run it. Okay, we do have two balls and we also have sound, and you can see a ball exits and two new balls appear. You can see the whole circle is kind of rotating, but the opening is fixed over here. Now the opening has actually vanished and now it has come back again. So it is a working response but not fully. Let's look at DeepSeek. Let's copy the code and paste it and let's run it. You can see the balls. They are exiting from the correct place and two new balls are appearing. So I would say DeepSeek has come up with a comparatively better response. It did what we asked for instead of overdoing stuff and making things overcomplicated. So I'll give this a win to DeepSeek. So let's move on to the next question. Write a Python program that simulates Earth rotation. So let's send this. Okay, we have got the responses, guys. Let's look at GPT-5. So immediately we don't see any kind of errors. Let's run it and that didn't run. That was a fail. So we should do a retry or not will be decided from DeepSeek response. So let's copy this. Let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, we at least see something. I think we also have lights and satellite stuff. So although it is not the best implementation, but it is at least something. Okay everyone, so I gave them some feedback and asked for updated code. Let's look at their responses. I hope this time GPT-5's response works. So let's paste the code and let's run it, and that didn't run, guys. That is a fail actually. Let's move on to DeepSeek. So it was already running previously, but let's see if it has improved this time. So now you can see it is slightly improved than the previous version. Although it is not the best response that I've seen, but it at least works compared to GPT-5's response. So this is a win for DeepSeek. Now let's ask them to create state-of-the-art Pacman game in Python. So let's see what they come up with. Okay everyone, we have the response from GPT-5. Let's copy the code, paste it and let's run it. Okay, this is what we have. We actually have some sound as well. So let me increase the volume. This is it. The maze is not correctly developed. I have to say that. All in all, it's kind of an okay response, but nothing that great. I think it could have done a better job with the maze. Let's look at DeepSeek's response. Let's copy this, let's paste it and let's run it. Again, you can see the maze is not implemented correctly. And also, the ghosts are kind of getting stuck sometimes and it is hard to say which one is better because both are kind of worse. So to both the models, we'll say that the maze is not correctly implemented. Please fix it. Okay, we have got the updated code. Let's try off with GPT-5. So let's paste the code and let's run it. Okay, so this is what we have got. I think it has fixed the maze and it looks good. See, I've eaten the perk and if I eat the ghost, you can see it goes back. I'm not able to show you guys, but in some situations I'm able to, move through the walls. So that shouldn't happen. But all in all, it's a better response. Let's look at DeepSeek. So let's copy the code, let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, it says list index out of range. So that didn't work. So clearly it was a downgrade when it comes to DeepSeek. So in this particular question, I think GPT-5 is a winner. Now let's ask them to create the most advanced and fully featured pinball game possible in Python. Okay, we have the responses. Let's start off with GPT-5. Let's copy the code, paste it, and let's run it. Okay, I think that didn't run from GPT-5. Let's look at DeepSeek. If DeepSeek works, then it will be a win, or else we can give another chance to both models. So let's run this. Okay, it says page to launch ball. So I think at least it works. So that is better, but the flaps are not implemented correctly. So we'll give a chance to both. Okay, let's see the updated responses. Starting off with GPT-5. Let's paste the code and let's run it. Okay, this time it is running and it looks kind of okay, but not that good. I have to say that. Kind of jumbled. So there is nothing much that we can do about it. So we'll close this and I hope DeepSeek comes up with a very good response. So we'll paste this and let's run it. So it says press up down to launch the ball. So it's kind of stuck. It's not working. It was working in the first instance, but now it is not working. I don't know. There seems to be a trend with DeepSeek. In the attempt of trying to improve its response, it kind of messes it up. So I think I'll have to give a win to GPT-5, although it was not that good. So what can we say? So we did 5 front-end questions and 4 back-end questions. By back-end, I mean Python-based responses. So you can see in out of 5 front-end questions, 2 of them GPT-5 was better, and in 3 of them DeepSeek was better. Talking about back-end questions, we did a total of 4 questions, and in 2 of them DeepSeek was better, and in 2 of them GPT-5 was better. One thing to note is, in most of the responses, the first instance from GPT-5 was not that great, but it was actually able to fix its response. Whereas DeepSeek, it was good in its first response, but when trying to fix it, it kind of messed it up. That is the reason it lost some points. It does seem that given multiple chances, GPT-5 might be a better model, but although its front-end design is not that good. But when it comes to Python-based responses or back-end things, you can iterate and get things working. But when it comes to DeepSeek, it is kind of a model where the response will be good, but the more you iterate, you might get the situation even worse. So both are kind of good, but both are not the best. So the best is Claude Opus 4.1 when it comes to raw coding performance. We'll have to test the agentic performance of this new DeepSeek model. When it is available in API, I'll be able to do that. I hope I was able to give you good comparison between GPT-5 and DeepSeek version 3.1. I highly suggest that please, if you see any kind of hype option, so please click that and hype this video so that more and more people are able to watch this. That really helps the channel. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.